So they got you with the clock again in Houston. Did you hear about this?
Well, I heard about it. They had, 34 seconds on the clock.
Some number like that.
And we didn't see it. The officials didn't see it. So I don't know, it didn't hurt us, but we were surprised after the game about it.
It's kind of bizarre that these things keep happening, not just you, but around the league, too.
Yeah, and, again, it's a mistake game. We understand that. You just don't want it to happen to you when a game is decided by the clock, by that close, and then we lose 34 seconds. That was surprising.
I think they added 34 seconds. I think you got
34 free seconds. So luckily, it wasn't a close game, and that's the most important thing.
But there's no way to monitor it unless you got a guy. Each team has a guy paying close attention right at the time.
Well, at the time we didn't see it, and that's on us. We didn't catch it. It was during a technical situation, I think. Luckily it wasn't a close game. It didn't decide the game.
Staying with the clock issue, or minutes anyway, we're talking about Kyle's minutes. It looked like you got him out about 2 minutes earlier the other night in Houston, first and third.
We're trying to watch his minutes, trying to keep his minutes down. And the only way we can do it is get him out earlier, the other night was a perfect storm because we had a lead and it wasn't a nip and tuck situation. But it's difficult to get him out of there, but we have to for the long term, for the long haul, to make sure we keep him fresh as the season goes on.
Does the onus kind of fall on Corey at that point? I mean, you're asking him to sort of run the show a little longer.
Well, it's on everybody.
Yeah.
It's Corey's the backup, but everybody's got to take up the slack defensively. Take up the slack offensively. Corey's got the main job behind Kyle as far as being the backup. But, it's good for everybody. And also DeMar, we have to watch both their minutes as the year goes on.
Dwane, how good was it to finally have a complete team performance, not only on the offensive side of the basketball, but defensively? You guys made some strides in that last game.
We did. We made some mistakes defensively, but they were hard mistakes, and that's what you want to do is play hard. I thought we competed. They tried to make a run. We continued to compete. We didn't let down. And that type of intensity and hard play for extended periods of time are so important.
Talk about the first half. Your leading scorer had 3 points in the first half, and you're still able to walk out with the lead. What does that say about the team's approach to that game in order to be a very good offensive team?
Well, one thing he did, he passed. DeMar was passing the ball. He had 9 assists. Kyle had 9 assists. That was huge. Teams are going to try to take him out, and as long as he continues to burn him with the pass and beat him with the pass, it's going to help the entire team, no matter what the scoring is. Not only DeMar is he's not concerned about that. He'd much rather have a win than have a scoring title.
Tonight you guys got a young, athletic team, a lot of length on this team, a team that puts a lot of pressure on your paint. It's kind of opposite of what you've been playing on this road trip, teams that like to shoot a lot of threes. What do you guys have to do to kind of corral that paint pressure that they'll put on you?
We got to do what we do, is protect the paint. That's the most important thing, is protecting the paint. They're averaging 50 points in the paint. They're trying to turn you over where they can run and get layups. First, we got to take care of the basketball, and I would say the most important thing is meeting their intensity. This team plays as hard as anybody in the league, so we've got to meet the intensity, and we've done that in the last few games. We've competed hard. We laid it on the line. And you want to make mistakes, but you make sure they're hard mistakes, and we got to meet their hard play. That's one thing this team does, for a long period of time, and our team has done that. So by protecting the paint, we just got to do what we do, is make sure we show bodies in transition, make sure we're drawing in, we're shrinking the lane, and make sure we recognize and understand who their shooters are. They do have three-point shooters. We got to recognize them and make sure we have multiple efforts of shrinking the paint and then getting out.
Dwane, is that intensity you speak of kind of an extension of their coach and the way he played?
Yeah, Jason was the same. Jason was ornery, dirty, nasty, especially as I had him in his older age. And so he knew how to play the game within the game. He was physical, and they play that way. And they run the same offense we do, the same offense we ran in Dallas. Jason's done a good job with this young team and developing, mold them. And one identity they have, which you respect as a coach, is how hard they play.
Dwane, can you draw any comparisons with Giannis handling the ball now to back in the day, like a Scottie Pippen or a Paul Pressey that is initiating the offense from the point, and what challenges that presents for you guys?
It's like a Magic Johnson, so a guy bringing the ball down the floor with length, size, learning to shoot the basketball at this time, but he's getting into your paint with off the dribble. He's tenacious. He continues to pursue getting into the paint off the dribble, long strides, and so you're used to these guys taking 2-3 steps to getting into the paint. He gets there in one. So your angles to your closeouts, your angles if you're going under, your angles while you're guarding him have to be efficient, because if they're not, he's one stepping at the rim and with his length. So all those things are what we talked about today, and we're going to have different people guarding him. He's very effective in the post, a lot like Magic Johnson, those guys. I'm not saying he's Magic Johnson, but a lot like he did, back you down with his size against smaller guards. And so we got to be prepared to how we want to attack that.